So yeah, we only approved the t-shirt, $250 for the t-shirts, $500 for the teddy bears, and $50 for the cards, for the, uplifting cards. Yeah, so I wrote in the bill that was, conditionally approved because we just wanted to talk to them about the rest of their budget requests, before we approve the rest of it. So that's why we, only approved 800 as of now.
I do have another question. With your RTPs, so the food order is based off 100 people, right? Or 110 people?
Yes.
When are you sending out your RTPs so you know how many people are actually coming?
As soon as Ms. Godfrey is supposed to be back on Thursday, so hopefully the event gets approved on Thursday. As soon as that gets approved, we'll start sending RSVPs out, and we will give them till the 18th to RSVP for the event.
Oh, wow. But when do you guys be like sending them from A to make an order for 120 people?
That should be by the end of the week, just to give them a number of what we're expecting.
And this takes place on the 22nd?
The 20th, which is next Sunday, not this Sunday, but next Sunday.
So it says you only have 20 members, so is this open to all, just athletes or students?
No, this is open to all students, any students that like to attend.
So what else do we approve? The t-shirts, what else again, sorry?
The teddy bears was $500, and the, cards, lifting cards was $50.
Is there a way that we can, define this handicap and time to like discuss like at the end of this, more so what more we could approve? I don't know, I just don't think I would want to vote on something if we don't know how many people are really coming. Because the food is really expensive. You know, that's like $1,700. And if we don't know how many people are coming, I would hate for y'all to spend $1,700 and then y'all bought that food. But do you know if Ms. Godfrey could expedite a food meal? Like, could you talk to her today or tomorrow?
I know she's not back on campus until Thursday, so I don't know if I can get in. I wouldn't be able to get in contact with her. Sorry, the evening.
So the main issues are with the food. How about the table decoration, the artists, all of that?
Well, we talked about the camera situations. I don't know what.
Yeah, so we said that we can, we'll just cut one. We'll make it work for both of them. So one that can do both.
What's the three? It's like what's the three?
Like we have a homecoming.
Okay, that one.
Yeah.
So you're gonna ask to photograph, whoever y'all get to photograph, if he can do that too. Or she-
Yeah, if he has a 360, that can do that.
I think you should look at it more along the lines of which one you prefer, because I don't think a photographer is gonna give you the same thing as a 360 camera.
Okay.
Like if you want pictures for the event that you're gonna use later on for like promotion or anything like that, then I would get a photographer. But if you want people to just enjoy your event and take pictures that they can take home as souvenirs, then you would do the 360.
Okay, I guess you need time to operate the 360. Yeah, talk about it.
Plus,
Just
I would disadvise the 360 because you know people can take pictures with their phones. We have DOC that can always, if you do need actual picture, our DOC can take pictures. Just reach out to Ryan, of course, and Bree, and they'll be able to work something out. Because I think the whole point is to get students excited, like, oh, I can go on that little spinning thing, get my little video. Perfect. So let's decide on that category before we talk about what we're going to do for the
I'll definitely feel like we can go to 360 then, and then I can reach out, and then we can go from there with that.
So award plaques, how many award plaques?
There'll be 7 awards. 1 award for a freshman woman award, a sophomore woman award, a sophomore. So basically every class, freshman through sophomore, 1 in college of pharmacy, 1 grad student, as well as 1 faculty member.
Can y'all be audit for $50? Can y'all be audit for $50?
Yes, we have. There was a place that my person looked up that found that they were able to do that.
And what about, how do we feel about table decorations?
Are we going, if you can tell us the price of the floors, I would be more comfortable with it. Cause the table decorations are a little steep.
Okay. We can work with that.
Okay, so, Senator Webster, what would you, and, Senator Winter, what would you, the finance committee propose in terms of, are we approving the 360 and the workplex and the table decorations? What amount would you approve for that?
How much did we say about the flowers that it was?
It's like 300.
So yeah, I'm okay with the 300 and the, added it to the total, what did we already put, like 8 something?
Yeah,
$800.
so we approved 800, if you do the 360 camera, the award plaques, 300 for the table decorations, that would be $1,650.
Okay.
And for this, 360, that price, was that a direct quote from the vendor?
That's from what I was told. I can always follow up. I'll actually follow up tonight once I keep it.
Just
Okay, that sounds good. So that's 1,650 without looking at the food, the brunch. So for the brunch, what do you think?
I just feel more comfortable with the number, like if you could tell me how many people are RSVP, cause that's so much money, cause I'd be shocked, okay.
Okay, so do we want to, I'm gonna propose to the Senate now that we vote on the 1,650, and once he does get the, numbers for the RSVP, sends that to the finance committee and allow them to make a decision on, what those numbers are.
Question with that, let's say we have it, because we planned it in the RSVP on the 18th, the event's on the 20th. So I don't know if that would get to y'all in time for us to be able to pay for the food.
Then why are we making the RSVP to the 18th? Just to give people time?
Yes.
that's okay, but could you possibly like just send us, how many people have RSVP already, maybe a week before, just so we can see like, okay, like you have, let's say 75 people RSVP already, so by the next week, we're probably gonna get to 125 people, whereas, if you say like, we only have 15 people RSVP already,
Right.
we may not get to 125.
Okay.
That'll affect them being able to get a check and being able to process payment because with the treasurer and the timeline for that.
We can always lower the number.
That's what I was about to say.
We can always lower the number of guests that we try to,
When are you opening the RSVP thing again?
as soon as Ms. Godfrey approves it. So
And
we're
you think
just,
she's gonna approve it by this Thursday?
that's when she comes back into town, and then my advisor has a great relationship with her.
Okay,
So he plans to just go talk to her and get her approved and go from there.
so basically like this week.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
So are there any people that are like required to go? Like, is this a mandatory thing?
Yeah, so all my members, will be required to go. All the males in my org will be helping out, as well as men from, Collegiate 100, they will be helping, serving.
So how many people is that?
Total, about probably about 140.
Wait, I'm not sure, wait, people would just be helping out, they have to be there?
No,
Oh.
not all people are helping out. He said a certain amount of people from Collegiate 100 is helping out, correct? And then all the other people are guests.
Yes.
How many people is in
From Collegiate 100, we're trying to get about 20, and then we have planned about, we have it set for 125 guests.
You said this here?
Yes.
So it can fit over 100 people. Yeah,
So,
that's
I think it's
everything.
awesome.
It'll be big, girl.
And are you gonna have tables
Yes.
from the UC?
So what is your table like these?
Could we approve 50% of the food budget now? And then, I mean, I'm more concerned about like, if we wait to the 18th for you to RSVP, I really just wanna know what another broken ed policy is for a big order like that, how many days in advance do they need to know? Cause if you telling me y'all couldn't RSVP off on the 18th, when are y'all placing an order for another broken egg on the 19th? And then you gotta figure out if another broken egg is in Branch 5, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be hard for them to cook for 120 people on a Saturday or Sunday. Being that they're already cooking for the people that are coming to the event.
Right, so my vice president reached out, I think it was yesterday or 2 days ago, and she basically said that she'd already talked to them, told them we were expecting 125 guests, would they be able to do it, and they told her yes. So, we sent the invoice and we're just going to follow up by the end of this week and prepare from here on out.
Does the event have to be on the 20th?
There's already an event on the 27th with World Court, which was our original planned date for it, but because of that, we had to move it up to the 20th.
I think we can go with even half of it. Should that be 1,000? That's 2,000. Yeah, because I understand what the senator's concerns are with attendance. Because even when we have large events, the highest numbers we see are like 250, 300, and so it's like gauging, especially how y'all publicize things. So how
Yeah, we've talked. We've done word of mouth as of right now. Just waiting until we actually get it approved before we actually start publicizing it, so we don't get in trouble.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So if we do approve, half of that brings the total to 3,650. All right.
260.
Because the actual 2,000, half of the 2,000 is 1,000. You should add 1,000.
I thought you asked for 4,000.
No, in total there's.
Total is 4,000, but just for the food was 2,000. So
Yes,
half
I'm
of-
saying their total.
So, yeah.
But
Yeah,
why-
their total is 1,650.
The total at first.
I have
What is
we approved 250, for the t-shirts, 500 for the teddy bears, $50 for the cards, that added up to 800. We approved 500 for the 360 camera, 50 for the award plaques, 300 for the table decorations. And so that added up to 1,600 now, 1,650, and then we approved 50% for the food, which
Can we-
is 2,650.
Can we go into the food invoice though?
It was a little bit over 2,000.
It was 2014.
I thought it said it was easy.
That was, yeah, with the food alone. That was.
So the 2,000, where the extra 300 coming from?
No, the 2,000 on the budget request, maybe it's different on that.
So yeah, so why is there 2,000 on the budget request if the food only costing us 17?
So that's just for the food one, and then we added drinks, which is on the other.
Oh, okay.
that we sent.
I'm here. Okay. Because I was like, what?
Just give me 5 pancakes.
It's 5 pancakes for the second.
Oh.
So the apple sparkling cider, I guess.
Yes.
Orange juice, waters. So we're thinking of that.
That's that.
2,650, right?
Yes.
Okay, so. So, I call a motion to vote on approving $2,650 for the Association of Student Athletes. Can I get a motion for a vote? Can I get a second for a vote, please? All right, all in favor of approving this financial bill, say aye. All not in favor, say nay.
How soon does he need a check for, how soon does he have to have a check for, how soon does it take for them to write the check, for him to get to another
If it's
budget?
more than 150, it takes 2 weeks to process.
How is that, so is it gonna take, wait, it may be next week?
No, it's in 2 weeks, so they should have got the check written 2 days ago, is what you're saying.
They can, if it's like 2 days, he'll be able to get it, but that's the maximum length, so sometimes it's shorter. And usually we put like closer events, that's all treasurer goes, she puts closer events as priority. So as long as they can get an invoice, honestly, by tomorrow. And sometimes the vendors, if it's a vendor that's by the school, they're okay with getting paid a little bit late. Because the check gets mailed out to them if it's more than a certain amount too, so. That part, he'll have to figure that out with the treasurer.
Alright.
So, once again, all in favor of approving Senate Finance Bill 77.37, all say aye. All against it, say nay. All right, Senate Finance Bill 77.37 is approved, and you have 3,100 also.
Yes, I do. Thank you.
So let's get this one out the way.
Well, so for collision 100, we approved $350, just because they had, $1,000 in their account, so, we only approved 350, just to let them take care of it.
So we already have 1,000 approved
No, y'all have $1,000 in your account.
already, okay.
How much did they request?
They requested, 588.
What does the 350 include?
Um, the 350 is for food and beverages for the event. So, they requested 150 for, gift cards to the Cheesecake Factory, and then requested $88 for wristbands, and so we declined those two things.
So y'all didn't approve the wristbands?
Well, no.
Okay, because that's what they have money in their account?
Yeah.
Okay. Any questions?
Is that money in anywhere for a specific use for that money?
I can find out.
So no questions, so all in favor of approving, well, can I get a motion to vote, please?
I said the barring motion.
Can I get a second motion, please?
I said that James second motion.
All right, all in favor of approving Senate Finance Bill 77.36, say aye. All those against, say nay. All right, Senate Finance Bill 77.36 is approved. So is that your two, yes, it is. So yeah, since it's approved, those will hit your account in a few days, but we need to, you need to be in contact with, your advisor, so we sort of get that gauge of how many people are gonna be there.
So we do have to wait till,
You get it tomorrow morning.
I mean, we have to wait till Ms. Goffer approves it for us to start cooking it, or should we start trying to cook it now, just to try and get a gauge?
I don't think there's anything wrong with the Twitter poll or a little Twitter post, you know, how many of y'all would attend this type of thing. Just to give you a survey on how many people would attend, but there's nothing wrong with that. Okay.
So, here you go. Thank you for, joining our meeting today. We have another bill.
Can you tell me the total cost one more time for, the total for both orders?
2,650 for the split athletes, and then 350 for each one.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Let's not. So the Senate's Finance, the Pre-Law Club, they asked for $21.57 per spring semester.
I said the barring motion. Oh, I said the vote.
All those in favor of the $21 bill, say aye. All those against it, say nay. She's not. Okay.
Don't write that down.
What was it, $21?
Yeah.
What was the
$21?
$21?
$20.
Probably for pizza or something. What's a specific number though? What was it for?
It was for,
That's the last one.
No. We can take a quick break and then-
You can keep doing that.
Okay, so they don't have anybody to represent them here?
Yeah, we had questions.
Not the,
They don't have a conference.
so.
Wait, was she public health or pre-health?
No,
She said, yeah.
So they don't have a representative here?
No, I guess not.
So y'all don't think it's worth?
Well. I'm just gonna request.
I mean, this is a lot of money, so they should have had someone here.
They requested about, they split it up into two bills, and they requested about like $7,000. We approved $4,195 because they are going on a convention, and so we wanted to be consistent with what we did with the chemistry club, and we approved to pay for their airfare and then 50% of their hotel expenses. However, I emailed their president to ask how much money they have in their account, and they say they only have $25 in their account. So,
And when is this on? This is in April, so they have time for this convention. And then the spring convention, did they give you a date?
they're both the same. So I don't know the date, but they submitted two budget requests, but it's for the same thing. They just split it up, so it would be over $4,000 for one request.
But they also collect dues, which was a little weird, because y'all, I forgot how many people they said they had in their organization.
So they have, no, they don't collect dues, but they have 82 members in the organization. They don't collect dues, and they plan on 10 people to attend the event.
Yeah,
So-
my question was the 10 people attending the event. I was hoping that they would have a representative here to explain that part, as to why there's only, that amount of people attending.
How much is the total?
They combined the two bills together.
Yeah, so I don't know if y'all remember, but they were here last meeting and we were supposed to vote on the one about the flights, I believe.
Okay, so they just want the one, well, they just want to take care of the flights?
So, what, the two budget requests they submitted?
Didn't they already like submit one already, and then they had submitted one late? And then y'all were supposed to look at that one on your own and then come back. So I guess we just decided to do both of them today, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, which one is that the one that has the phone?
This one, yes, it says the air travel.
So this was the first one they submitted last Senate meeting that we didn't look at.
So y'all said no to this one?
So,
It was awesome. I didn't understand, I think when I also was looking at this, I didn't understand how it's, 80 y'all going, but it's like 2 tickets. So we talk about the 2 tickets going?
Well, yeah, that, they put the other 8 people in the next budget request. It was good.
so I spoke to them. What they did was because they can't submit more than 4,000 per request, they split it up. So it's all still the same conference, I believe. So they just put like, let's say 10 people on this one and 2 people on this one. So, or whatever number.
This one.
Yeah. So 8 plus 2, that's 10.
Also, they paid $230 per person for a ticket to go to the conference.
Well, no,
I think we said we were gonna pay for the tickets because we agreed that can vary over time.
Yeah, I remember the last Senate meeting, I know we voted to approve the tickets. It was how was the total?
This one is 3,230. And then the other one was.
This is a lot of money.
I have a question.
This one's 30.
I don't know how this is gonna do.
Yes.
So, I think looking at this, the only concern that pops into my head is flights are not set in stone unless you already booked it. So how does that play a part into this budget? Because if they're budgeting for $3,500 for their flight and they get to the flight and the flights aren't that amount, then
They'll figure it
I
out.
mean,
will they still?
Do they have money in
I
their
mean, they
account?
have some money there.
They have-
That's $25.
And they said
So
that.
that amount of time people, that's $250.
They said that they knew that he would have money left over, so they put a note saying that the rest will be saved for future endeavors.
So, just to make sure, so,
Wait, they take dues too?
Well,
They
This
take,
is
they
their
take
optional.
dues, yes, but
So their dues, they say their dues go directly to the national charter. Yeah, option.
Out of 80 people?
Huh?
They're optional though.
Yeah, they're option.
It- Also, and I don't think that's for like their personal use,
yeah, it's
that's
not for
for
them.
So it's
a
just like,
national traffic.
Yeah.
And for a conference, typically total cost is about 7 to 8, 10,000.
I think my problem is though, like with organizations that do conferences, I think you still have, like, the good thing about the Christian Club, they had $1,000 in their bank account to help them bustle with their conference. Y'all can't be trying to be going to conferences and y'all have no money to go. That doesn't make sense. It doesn't add
That's
sense.
not right here though.
But sometimes they might not have the means. Chemistry club has that, because if y'all take chemistry, when you buy your periodic table, and they have the little chem shirts and all that, that's where they get those money.
Well, so I guess the only thing, the finance committee, we approved a certain amount, assuming that they would have enough money to pay for the rest. Upon talking to them, they did not have enough money to pay for the rest. So, I guess we did have to discuss what you all want to do, about the rest.
Wait, so what did y'all actually approve?
We approved, $4,195.
Which includes what?
That includes, 100% of their airfare and then 50% of their, hotel.
And y'all said we were gonna pay for the tickets, no?
No, the airplane ticket.
Airplane tickets, okay, not their actual going there ticket. I think instead of doing, y'all don't think they can just pay for their own, but $139 is really not that much.
I mean, if they can pay options to pay $25, just if they gotta pay for their room.
Like,
I don't know.
That's not money.
it's a lot, like 7,000 is just a lot.
I also feel like their room prices might change too, because when cities find out they have a convention, don't their prices tend to go up on their
They're
hotel?
gonna have to figure that out.
Yes, mm.
Or
They might have to cut down the
Yeah,
number of
like,
people going.
That's what I was just about to ask. So the people going, is this their e-board just going, or is, like,
I
who,
mean, I'm sure they have an agreed number of people going, because they have 80 something members.
that's,
So I
But-
mean, that's pretty much their business, I feel like. No, really, because sometimes clubs, you can't afford to bring everyone to a convention, so I think they just agreed on 10 people going.
okay.
That's just what I think.
But
I thought they would come to ask for.
Yeah, they're normally good.
I was just asking, because looking at it, I mean, you have over 80 people and it's only 2 people going. That's why I was just asking, like, was that set
I mean,
beforehand?
because like imagine if 80 people went to a convention, that number would be like,
Yeah.
Could be better.
that'd be crazy.
I would say that's
I did talk to, it's not just their e-board, they have some members going too. I think it's only their president and vice president from the e-board that's going, so. it's a
And the
mix.
other people are just not, well, not.
They're
volunteers,
members.
but Yeah.
Yeah,
It's not mandatory.
it's not mandatory. It's based on who can go and who wants to go. I don't know what criteria they use to choose the people, but.
I personally feel that that's not, we shouldn't really worry, that's their issue to handle. It's a very internal organization issue.
That'll be
Well,
something
they
to
just
touch
bring
your
them, like,
rights.
okay, we should have put it
I have a question.
in.
This keeps happening. This keeps happening very often. The whole, we set a limit, but then we have to deliberate over what applies for this, what applies for this. So is it possible for me to motion that this, that a new part of finance will include specific situations like this? Because I feel like we always do this when it comes to these situations specifically, and we need an actual guideline which has been agreed upon. so that we can make our lives easier.
In terms of conferences or organizations?
Both.
I thought-
Because some organizations don't go conferences at all, but we know that at least 1, 2, 3, 4 at least will. And depending on the organization that might form in the future, I feel like this should be included as a more specific case in the finance bill, which dictates how you look at bills.
In terms, so that's what I'm asking. So what you, the inclusion you want to make in that finance bill is as it relates to conferences. That's what
Yeah, as it relates to special events.
Do we have to define what those special events are?
Yeah, so, yeah.
Oh, we also have one more thing. Also, when we was telling, we were talking about this yesterday. We feel like any organization that requests over a certain amount of money, they have to have a representative. Even if we don't have any questions, I just feel like if you're requesting $4,000, you should come to the meeting to at least make sure that you understand we're approving your money. You know what I'm saying? Like, because right now they asking for a lot, and when y'all not having anybody here, kind of like.
I agree. So what, did you have an amount you had in mind?
I think we said over $1,000.
And we said 1,500.
Yeah, 15.
I can send an email to everyone, that's easy.
But I will say, I didn't ask for them to come because I thought we just had that one question. I just asked them how much money they had in their account, and once they said $25, I was just like, okay.
So from the finance committee perspective, are you motioning to approve the entire thing?
No, I think that should be it.
Wait, I have a question for you. You told them not to come?
No, I didn't tell them not to come there. I didn't specifically ask them to come. I just asked that specific question. And
Okay.
then I was, in my head, I was just thinking I'm not gonna ask them to come because they don't have any money. So we talked about it in the meeting, like, okay, if they had money, we were just gonna approve that certain amount. That's all they.
Okay, so since they have no money, you want us to all discuss if we should improve $7,000 in total?
Yeah.
Okay.
How much did we approve for the camp fund?
So we did the same thing for the Kent Club. We approved their airfare and then 50% of their hotel. And so that's what we did for them initially. But the Kent Club, they had money. They don't.
I was thinking I feel like maybe we can pay for like their plane tickets and maybe like the actual conference tickets, and then they can, if they really want to stay there, the housing, like, and something they can fundraise or something, like, cause it's just a lot.
I feel like they can fundraise for the tickets. If y'all really want to go to the conference, the least you can be, we gonna pay for you to get there. But you can at least kind of get inside in my place of fresh lady. That don't even make sense.
It's too
I
hard.
motion to approve, like, how you did the chemistry club thing. I don't feel like that's a crazy thing to do if you're approving, was it 50% of their ticket?
50% of their lives.
Of their room, yes. I feel like that's not crazy. So approve the travel, approve their ticket, and 50%.
But how much is approved for the chemistry people?
7,000.
Okay, so like,
That's about it.
It's the same, no, but like, no, because what you're saying, like the same thing, we would approve 4,000. And they asked for a total of 7,000. We gave chemistry people 7,000. That's how I was okay. Kind of make it fair.
So what's the total of their airfare plus the tickets for the conference? What's that total?
Yeah, that's too much.
Right,
that's a little too much.
They must have started registration or something.
Because I felt like that's, yeah,
The early registration fee, it's like they come with the wrong number.
yeah.
That's
That's
the
how,
later it gets, the more the tickets they're holding to.
So their airfare is 3,500. Their tickets for the conference itself is 2,300. So I guess.
yeah, so I think that's fine. If we just do those two and then the housing, they can do that. 'Cause if they told random members, like, yeah, it's fully funded, and then you come, you're like, okay, well, actually, you're gonna have to pay like 3 something, then that travel fare is gonna drop to just a lot more stuff,
So, I'm gonna put a motion to approve, Daniel, what's that final number? $5,800. Can I have it?
It says two.
No,
So on
it's
the
just
other
like
one, yeah,
but they're gonna do more than 4,000.
yeah, cause in total it's 7,000 something.
What's your motion?
Can I get a motion to approve a total of 5,800 for maps for their conference?
That's the including the travel fare and the conference tickets.
So we're
That
not
doesn't
paying for the
include
hotel, no.
housing.
What, you're not what?
So if this doesn't cover the accommodation, the hotel.
Yeah.
So this is only paid for the travel and
The conference.
the conference tickets themselves.
Oh, I, Brian, motion to the,
All those in favor of approving the bill in its amount of 5,800, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Finance bill 77.36 is approved in its amount of 5,800.
Let's try to run through
Yeah, you too.
Removing Xavier requested $435 for, organizational event they were having in the meeting. Most of this was just for food. They had it working down very nicely, and we decided to approve that instead of not.
Okay.
All right, all in favor of approving, finance bill 77.38? Oh, can I get a motion to vote on, this finance bill?
I sent a share motion to vote on the bill 77.38.
I said it again, second motion.
Okay, all in favor of, passing, approving Senate Finance Bill 7738, say aye. All against, say nay. All right. Senate Finance Bill 7738 is approved, and one more.
So the pre-physical bill?
Yeah.
So they requested $120.70 for, photos, and we decided to approve that in total.
Sounds great. Can I get a motion to vote, please?
Wait,
Oh,
at the bottom it says from the Xavier's is pre-physical therapy.
That was a typo.
Okay.
It's two.
Yeah, it was a few
Okay.
typos.
That was just copy and paste.
So, can I get a motion to vote on the, pre-physical therapy club?
I said it James motion to vote.
I send the Brian second that motion.
All in favor of passing, Senate Finance Bill 7739, say aye. All against it, say nay. All right, Senate Finance Bill 7739 is approved. Let's take a quick intermission.
I know y'all said some of it in your status reports. Toye, for the recreation center, I did see your email. Did you get a response back yet or no?
Yeah, I sent it like today, so I didn't get a response.
Okay, that's fine. So just keep us updated and keep your chair updated so he can put that in his status report. Adrian, do we have an update on the Constitution review?
It's not sure.
Okay. Do we have an update on the Constitution review?
I said it earlier, but yesterday we sent out an email to all our organizations asking them to redo their constitution to help them run organizations properly for not only this semester but for future leaders and future students.
So, when you say all, you sent it to all the student groups?
All the RSOs.
Sounds good. So what's the timeline for them to get in?
So we requested that they get it done by April the 1st. We sent them an example constitution and the guidelines we want them to fulfill. So yeah.
Have you had any questions from them yet so far?
Yes, they asked if we had any constitutions on file. SGA doesn't, so they're gonna either they have that file or they're gonna have to create a new one.
what I want, with the email you sent out, I want you to send a follow-up email, just making sure that they confirm that they received it. Because you emailed the organization's emails or the leaders in their, like, their personal Xavier email.
The president's personal email.
Yes, so just send a follow-up email, letting them know that they need to confirm, and also letting them know if they don't, they're not eligible for funding until if they miss that April 1st deadline, they're not eligible for funding. And then, student support funds, I know I saw a few emails, can you talk about that?
So I managed to talk to the director of financial aid, and she was very emphatic and enthusiastic about meeting. So we agreed that I'll meet with her next week on Thursday at 10:30. The reason why I opted to go to financial aid as opposed to just keeping it internal is I wanted to see if it was possible for us to work with them in any way, because their coffers are deeper than ours. So yeah. That as far as that goes.
Okay, so just keep Daniel and your community chair informed on that. Senator Chief,
Yeah.
is there any update on reaching out to the director or did you have a meeting yet?
No, I said this in my committee report that you missed, but I talked to NECA about that, so she still has to talk to NECA. So we can set the meeting for that. But I talked to Kalea, the VP, and I got the stuff.
Okay, so you have the material from
Yeah.
here, it's just left with our school. I think you and NECA should meet with Ms. Carey.
Yeah, I said
Okay. Just, do you have a timeline for that though?
yeah, I'm just waiting for NECA to say something to me.
If she doesn't by the end of this week, just text me and I'll just work with you and Ms. Carey on that.
Okay.
Senator Chike, is there any updates from reaching, I know we talked about reaching out to the Director of Academic Affairs Center.
Yes, we did discuss that.
It's on my to-do list for this week. I have this whole big long to-do list of things to do. This is it, and it's there. Sending things.
Okay, so just in your staff report by this Friday, put those updates there and what the communities are doing too. I know you just talked about the hydrogen product initiative, so the smoothie station, I know you probably mentioned in your report. I just had a specific question. So the survey's closed.
Yes, so the survey is closed. It reached over 800 responses. So I'm really excited for it. The next step, I'll be meeting with Mr. Wright tomorrow to think about setting up a meeting with the Sodexo manager. Also asking, I have a presentation set up, so I want him to look at it, see if all the information on it is looking good, so that we can really take the next steps and just really hit the full running. So yeah, everything's all good.
What time's your meeting with them?
It's at 3.
So for the next Senate meeting,
Yeah, it's me. Yeah,
So
no
it
one
was
sent me
supposed
an
to be-
email. I'm supposed to send me today, right?
yeah.
Yeah, but I didn't get an email about anything. Yeah.
So you get it, if you can get it in by Friday, so we can, it's just about putting the order really. 'Cause
Yeah.
I don't wanna have to do what we did today because the place we ordered from was closed, so we had to change it. And when you're ordering, just make sure, call the people, find out if they're open and all those different things. And if they accept check too.
Okay.
Okay, so are there any updates on the specific committee events that we talked about for this semester? We can start with diversity.
Okay. So, my committee said, they want to do like a culture fair to celebrate different cultures. So they also want to incorporate the LGBTQ plus community. So it's going to be some sort of exposure fair, but we're still going to discuss more details about that and draft a little proposal.
Okay, with your proposal, I know you're probably gonna do that, but some things that'll be helpful is a budget and a date and a location too, just so I can match that up with my budget.
Okay.
They don't do a cultural fair anymore? Cause I know our P 1 year, we had to do a cultural fair. And it was like,
In the ballroom, right?
yeah, in the
Yeah,
ballroom.
with-
I don't know.
I don't think
in
it
a
really-
while.
Oh, because I guess last year we had COVID.
Yeah.
Did you do it? Yeah, I
The
was,
last I remember was like freshman year.
yeah,
Same.
so we definitely did it when I was, yeah, okay.
We partner with like, a few of the cultural organizations we have, like Sulava, ASU,
Okay.
then that'll be helpful too, especially with funds too.
Okay.
Academics.
Yes, so I'm gonna be very, very transparent. I have not talked to my committee about any events. But I did talk to Moon about an event. Only one of my committee members is here. And basically I was thinking about doing like a study hall for like finals and stuff like that. How do you feel about that? Yeah, but right, and Allie has a number for Amazon, but I'll get you the details for that this Friday, I promise.
Okay, and again, same thing, date, budget, location for, and time, of course, for the event, and logistics, so we can work that out. I'll take.
So we have we already have one program set up with XUPE. It's Netflix and Chill. It's for March 24th. It's just for students to get safe because we did one last semester. So it'll be like pretty much the same thing. And then we also have a few more events with XUPE, like just for safety tips and just getting to XUPE, like similar to the one where we did the Denver Cop. But we're just trying to figure out like what exactly we want. But just another get in there, get involved with the XUPE. Yeah, that's and then Kayla has some.
So for the mental health awareness, where we're bringing the puppies on campus, I've already spoken with the organization who will be bringing the puppies, and so the budget for it is $450. So I do want to know, how we can bring that money in or how that works since we are the Senate.
I have a budget.
Okay, so that works. I've also contacted the president of PAWS, and she's willing to work with us as well, just to collaborate on the event. I was hoping that we can also do like self-care goodie bag for the attendants.
Is that in the budget?
It's not in the budget, but addition to $450. So if we can just plan that out further, it'll be great to just collaborate and have the event around April 18th is what I was looking for.
If you do want to add that addition to the 450, I'd say whatever organization you're partnering with should chip in, because I don't think I can give more than 500. Just because each committee also has a set amount too. So yeah, but great idea. So I need to set up meetings with each of the committee chairs, or if you're an event lead like Kayla for your specific event, just so we can, because that, I need to submit things to XConnect and work the logistics of that and reaching out to the vendor and all that. So let's, after the meetings, and once the other committees decide finally, we'll meet, and I'll work with you to finalize that. For the Netflix and show, I know that's already done. Is Shamari in on that too?
Yeah, that's all that's coming from her budget.
Okay. For the, can you reach out to her for whatever graphic that they do create to include the Senate cylinder, just so students know it's a partnership with the Senate and her department too. How many minutes? We need to discuss it. Okay. Does anyone have any questions specifically? Or any comments?
I don't have any questions, but I have two things. The first one is I mentioned it to now about having a disability awareness event. I thought of partnering with XAB. I emailed the president, haven't gotten a response back. It was mentioned earlier, giving reports. So I wanted to kind of tack that on for something we can do. I'll write a
For the event.
Yeah, I'll write a proposal for it, but yeah, I
I'm
just
going
wanted to
to
mention
put
that.
that in my.
Secondly, I had mentioned while you weren't here, during the beginning of the meeting that I had wanted to draft an email, that thing that I started talking about earlier about career services being more centered to underserved majors. I wanted to start researching more on it, ask the Dreaming Office how it works, ask career services how it works in relation to other majors, see if there's any help, any way we can make it better, basically understand the situation, get student opinion, get their opinions, and see what can we do. My overall goal is to see if we can get something akin to the Premium Office on a smaller scale per major, but that's a hefty goal and it's a bit vague right now. So
I don't think. I think it's a good way of thinking. It's a good direction. Of course, as we go ahead, based on the need, we'll tweak a few things. But it doesn't sound. I love that you said, first of all, understand what the problem is. Do me a favor, and when you do work on all those things, let's set up a meeting this week or this weekend, or whenever you're free. Let's set up a meeting so we can just talk through some of those things specifically.
For that idea, I was gonna ask, is that something that, what's it called, Kirby? Is that something that Kirby does? Like, I guess you were talking earlier about like the application and like the essay and things like that. I wanna say that's a part of Kirby. Like, I think that's a part of their like programming things. So you could probably reach out to them as far as like changing their structure so that it's better for the students to, I guess, come.
Thank you.
Just so you're not starting from scratch.
Thank you so much. Yeah, and if you send emails out, that's perfectly fine. Just CC me in those emails. I'll appreciate a warning before you send it though too, just so I don't get a call.
I warned you and sent you the draft. Adrian had looked through them too.
No, I'm not talking about you.
Oh.
You said I saw it, so I was ready for you. I'm just saying this is not like no one didn't do that. I'm just letting you know because I know as we're going forward, a lot of us are going to start emailing specific people. So I'm just reiterating it to if you can send me your draft, it's appreciated. If you trust what you send, that's fine. Just CC me in it, but I appreciate if you send me a draft, just so we can. Some administrators are touchy, so we have to change the wording just so we can get what we actually want to.
So, what? Because when I have my meetings with SCPD and Shamari, like, I know they primarily use their budget, but I know there's more because of last semester if I put it in. So, what number? Because I've always said we didn't have a budget, like I said, we didn't have a budget, because that's what I thought. So, what number would you want us to, like, stick to when it comes to programming?
500. Virtually. And then if it needs to, I'll say this, don't let it exceed that so we can still have a Senate dinner. Let me put it like that. Because we can pull it from other expenses, but based on the budget I submitted.
Yeah, because most of it will come from their budget too.
Yeah, push for that, and we can support in funds and ideas as needed because they do have the funding for that. They have the larger thing. Our Senate total fund is one of their funds, so they can definitely handle it better. And they're more programming. We're not too program specific. I just want us to be more engaging and actually so students can see more of the Senate and we can have a little bit more practical events too. I think so. Okay. Any other questions? No other questions?
Are we at the comments part?
Yeah.
Okay, I have a comment. So, the time is coming in for the annual Senate meeting, the Senate dinner, and I'll be planning it just like I planned last time, so please be on the lookout for, different, restaurant ideas, and if you guys have any like ideas, I'm definitely open to that. I'll be sending out a Google form, hopefully this week, but if not next week, I'm gonna be doing it, so. It's $50 per person.
Okay, so Our next Senate meeting is gonna be on the 22nd. We are gonna have Dr. Claire Wilkinson from Office of Institutional Research, and she's gonna just come have a little session with us about surveys. And that's what they do, so the best ways to use, the best resources to use for our surveys and how to best get our target populations. Dillard has a Senate meeting on Thursday. They were here, as I know I mentioned us going, so just shoot a text in the group chat if you're still up for going to their Senate meeting on Thursday. But it's not, I need to confirm if they're still having it, but I'll let you know by tomorrow. Wait, tomorrow? I'll let you know by tomorrow. I don't know the time, I think, what was the last one?
It was at 4:30. So that's what made it difficult, is the time of 4:30 is kind of early.
I'll find out if that's still, yeah. But around 4:35-ish. Okay. Any other comments? So each committee, just make sure you work on your, I know we all have various projects and initiatives we're working on. The events, finalizing those so we can, because we need to start putting invoices, reaching out to vendors or other organizations that we're partnering with as much as possible. If you can't spend, don't spend. But if you need to spend, just put that as part of your budget and probably need to submit a higher budget request before Emmanuel. Emmanuel's also going to be presenting the spring budget next Senate meeting for this semester. So that's just something to look out for. If there are no other questions, can I get a motion to adjourn the meeting?
Option and Brown, let's do it.
I said, we just,
Meeting is adjourned.